Hey y'all, welcome back to another WeGo podcast YouTube video. I'm your girl Taria. Um, Here we are with WeGo, aka What Else Is Going On podcast. Please don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, share, and also subscribe to the podcast wherever you find all of your podcasts. Type in What Else Is Going On. That's what WeGo stands for. What Else Is Going On podcast with Taria S. Faison. You'll find it on Spotify, iTunes, wherever it is you listen to your podcast. Podcast episodes audio come out every Tuesday and Friday, along with the video, which will be available on YouTube. So, y'all, there's a couple of things that I've want to talk to y'all about, a couple more things in addition to the other video that I just did. One of these things I didn't know about, one of these things I've seen in like the radar online and all that stuff. And I was interested in it, but didn't talk about it. And then the other one I literally just saw a few minutes ago. So I want to get into those. First up, Cuba Gooding Jr. This is the one that I knew nothing about. I knew what I'm getting ready to talk to you about was happening to him, but not the way it's happening. Exclusive, according to radaronline.com, Cuba Gooding Jr.'s assault accusers struggle to serve jet-setting actor with legal papers, reveal unsuccessful attempt at movie screening. So I knew that he had accusers, but I didn't know, child, that he was on the run from being served. The two women suing Cuba Gooding Jr. for alleged essay are struggling to track the entertainer down to serve him with their lawsuit. According to court documents obtained by who else? RadarOnline.com. Kelsey Harbert and Jasmine Abbey, Abbay, requested additional time to find Cuba. In her lawsuit, Abby accused Gooding of a 2018 essay inside the New York nightclub Lavo. The accuser said she worked as a cocktail waitress on the night in question. Abby said she was assigned to Gooding's table. She claimed the actor kissed her without consent and forced his tongue into her mouth. She said she suffered psychological trauma, emotional distress, mental anguish, embarrassment, and humiliation as a result of Gooding's behavior. Prosecutors charged Gooding over the incident. The entertainer pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor charge in 2022. He avoided any jail time despite allegations from over 30 women. In her lawsuit, wait, did I miss something real quick? No, I didn't. Okay. So in the next lawsuit, give me 1 second. In her lawsuit, Harbert claims she met Gooding this is the other one, met Gooding at the Magic Hour rooftop bar and lounge in June 2019. The accuser claimed the actor placed his hand on her thigh and touched her left breast without permission. Herbert filed a police report against the actor. In her lawsuit, she claimed she was essayed and battered by Gooding. She demanded unspecified damages. The two accusers have yet to serve Gooding. In their recent motion, they asked for 120 days to complete service. So here they've been trying to serve him, but cannot find him to serve him based off of these lawsuits. Herbert explained she hired a process server to try and serve Gooding at his New York home, but was told he no longer lived there. In December 2023, she said she learned that Gooding was in Miami, Florida, and it appeared he was staying at one of the various hotels there. However, she said the hotels declined to provide any information on Gooding. Around the end of 2023, early 2024, it appeared as though defendant was on a private yacht in the Caribbean, which traveled in or around the Bahamas, as well as Jamaica, the motion read. Upon return to the United States of America, Gooding Jr. made his way to California and seemed to be staying at one of two possible addresses. However, despite best efforts, it could not be concluded by the process server hired by plaintiff that defendant was actually staying there for purposes of attempting service. Herbert said she tried to serve Gooding at a screening of an upcoming film for Warner Brothers Studio, in which he is starring, named The Firing Squad. And while Gooding Jr. himself was present for the screening that evening, the process server, who had also attended, Chana, how you get in? Are you somebody famous doing double time as a process server? Anyway, they were unable to get past security. Oh, okay. In effort to effectuate service of process, the motion read. My God, on today. Harvard's process server tried to serve Gooding at a film set in Tennessee. I'm not laughing, but oh my gosh, like on March 11th, 2024, but was unsuccessful. Abby said she was facing the same issues serving Gooding. A judge has yet to rule on their motion. They've been trying to find this man, serve this man, and somehow he's been evaded getting served. I didn't realize that you had a certain amount of time to serve, I guess, the person that you are suing. And then if you don't get it served in that time, it just becomes null and void? Does it get dismissed? Excuse me. But the fact that he's literally playing with them, because he knows what they're trying to do. They're trying to serve him. Can you imagine if they had a pulled up in the ocean right along next to him? Beep, beep. Like, hey, boo, let's party. By the way, you've been served in the middle of the ocean. That is crazy. So I guess the story will continue to develop if the judge gives them more days to try and serve this man. That is insane. Let's talk about Michael Jackson. Radar. This is according to radaronline.com. This is the article that I said I saw it happening, like certain things happening, and it was interesting, but I didn't come and talk about it. But when I saw this today, I wanted to. Family war. Michael Jackson's son Blanket fighting grandma Catherine's plea for $5,000 from late pop star's estate in fight over music sale catalog. Michael Jackson's son Blanket asked the judge to shut down his grandmother Catherine's demand she be paid $500,000 from the late pop star's estate. According to court documents obtained by RadarOnline.com, Blanket opposed Catherine's request to be reimbursed legal fees associated with her fight with the estate's executors. As Radar Online first reported, Katherine and the executors, John Branca and John McClain, have been fighting for over a year over the decision to sell one half of Jackson's music catalog to Sony. The executors asked the court to approve the deal in 2022. This is what they wrote. Katherine ran to court demanding the judge not sign off on the deal. She argued her late son would not have wanted the catalog sold off. Excuse me, y'all, something just came over me. Branca and McClain claimed Katherine had previously objected to deals that turned out to be lucrative. They argued the deal proposed would be extremely beneficial to Jackson's children, Prince, Paris, and Blanket. The parties faced off during a hearing where Katherine testified. Paris and Blanket supported their grandmother, while Prince said he was on board with the deal. Despite her objections, the judge sided with the executors and approved the deal. Katherine filed an appeal that argued the executors had no authority to sell off the asset. The executors scoffed at the suggestion they had no right to sell the catalog. As part of the appeal, Katherine won a couple of small wins. The case is still pending. In a recent motion, Katherine asked that the estate pay her $561,548 to reimburse certain legal fees associated with the appeal. The executors asked that Katherine's petition be denied. They argued the petition does not indicate the source from which Mrs. Jackson's counsel seeks to have the requested attorney's fee and expenses paid. It is not clear whether she is seeking payment from the probate estate or from the trust. Further, the executor said, to the extent Mrs. Jackson seeks payment from the probate estate, the petition lacks merit because it relies on provisions of the trust, claiming that payment of legal fees is required by provisions of the trust, authorizing the trustees to make payments. So in other words, she's been going to court to stop the sale of half of Michael's catalog to Sony. In doing so, she has accrued court costs. So she wants Michael's estate to pay the $500,000 and some odd court dollars for her. And so it looks like, again, oh my gosh, what is happening, y'all? So now in a newly filed response, Blanket said he opposed Katherine's request for the $500K despite supporting her during the court overhearing the catalog sale. So him and Paris supported Katherine, their grandmother, in not selling Michael's catalog. How Prince wanted to sell the catalog. However, Katherine trying to get Michael's estate to pay her lawyer fees that she's accrued fighting the sale of the catalog, he doesn't agree with that. So he agrees, yeah, grandma, we don't want to sell daddy's catalog, all of that. However, grandma, comma, you paying for legal fees to fight it is not going to come from my daddy. That's basically what he's saying. So now in a newly filed response, again, Blanket said he opposed Katherine's request for $500K, despite supporting her during the court hearing over the catalog sale. His lawyer admitted Blanket opposed the deal. However, he said Blanket did not appeal the court's ruling. It was apparent that the court was acting within its discretionary powers to grant the petition for instructions. The chances of a reversal on appeal were quite slim, and Blanket did not wish to incur further expenses in pursuing an appeal. So he had to come out of his pocket to fight that. Despite the expense and long odds, Katherine decided to pursue an appeal, the lawyer added. Blanket praised that this court denies Katherine's fees and costs incurred to appeal. The motion added, it would be unfair to make those beneficiaries shoulder the burden when they expressly decided an appeal would not be in their best interest. So basically, when it came down to the sale of half of the catalog, the people that wanted to sell it won. Katherine is filing the appeal of all of this. That's where her attorney's fees also come in. The people that did not agree with the sale, Blanket in Paris, are like, you know what? We're not getting ready to spend no more money trying to litigate this. It is what it is. And so that's where we're at with it. So this is getting messy. Money, when it comes to money and things like that, things can get really tricky. As my boo Carlos Harris says, life is tricky. And when money comes in, it especially gets tricky, even with loved ones. The last thing I want to talk to y'all about is the one that I just saw. Miss Azealia Banks. According to TMZ, Azealia Banks says Bey pandering to whites and Taylor, but her country tracks suck. So Azealia is saying that Beyonce is pandering to the whites and that her country track sucks, and to Taylor as well. Beyonce is adamant her Cowboy Carter isn't a country album, but Azealia Banks needs further convincing. The outspoken artist is so on one. This is what they said. Is so on one. Her rant is overshadowing the album announcement on social media. Azealia's unloaded on Bey in the past, but is now convinced her ex-Black girl superhero is putting on a do-si-do for the Caucasian Grammy voters just to snag that elusive Album of the Year award. In an audio recording, she also accused Beyonce of kowtowing to Taylor Swift and claimed she's no longer setting trends in music. Azealia basically wrote a short story that read in part, wow, we didn't even try to put even a little effort into a more artistic title. She then referenced Beyonce performing daddy lessons with the Dixie Chicks during the 2016 CMAs. You're always sharing your platform with white women who are so jealous of you. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I don't know what is happening. But have such a long history of sabotaging other Black women's careers. Bey's got the most Grammy wins ever, but no Album of the Year, a point her hubs Jay-Z infamously made during the last Grammy gala. Azealia made several more points of her own. She labeled Bey's outfits as white women cosplay and the entire Cowboy Carter rollout as pick-me stuff, aka smoke signals for white audiences to signal her out. She also blames Jay for over-strategizing the artistic vision and said Kelsey Ballerini and Carrie Underwood can make better music in their sleep. Girl, Azealia. I just had to rub my head. TMZ says Azalea's pissed she's not getting the B-Day Bianca Bardot Beyonce. Azalea's pissed she's not getting the B-Day Bianca Bardot Beyonce. But as the over-strategizer might say, just buy her old albums if that's what you want. I'm going to get into some of what Azealia wrote. She said, it's in small print, y'all. That's why I'm like trying to see it. She said, Cowboy Carter, wow, we didn't even try to put even a little effort into a more artistic title. Sis, I live for white Beyonce, Donatella, Bianca, Bardot, down. But I'm kind of ashamed at how you switch from Babao trees. I'm probably saying that wrong. BAOBAB trees and Black Parade to this literal pick me stuff. Like you do lame stuff like bring out some black listed white women, Dixie chicks, at the Country Music Awards, and they would never ever do the same for you. You're always sharing your platform with white women who are so jealous of you, but you have such a long history of sabotaging. I'm sorry. You're always willing to share your platform with white women who are so jealous of you, but have such a long history of sabotaging other Black women's careers. There was so much pertinent cultural commentary to be made here. I don't get why you have to be in white women cosplay to make what's really folk slash bluegrass slash adult contemporary facsimile country music. Oh my gosh, child. Let me read that again. She said, there was so much pertinent cultural commentary to be made here. I don't get why you have to be in white women cosplay to make, and then in parentheses, what's really folk slash bluegrass slash adult contemporary, in the parentheses, facsimile country music. Country is in quotes. She says, like, had you had a phonetics coach and aced the vowel placements and twang to the lyrical and melodic phrasing, that is the backbone of contemporary Confederate romanticism in song. Jesus. Therefore, I'm sorry, there could have been a humor to it, which would bestow upon you even a smidgen of personality to make you an interesting person again. But you're reinforcing the false rhetoric that country music is a post-Civil War white art form, and subsequently reinforcing the idea that there is no racism slash segregation slash slavery slash violence slash massacre slash plagues, manifest destiny craziness that form the bedrock of epithets like proud to be an American or God bless the USA. My God, on today. I just wish you would get unobsessed with being boring and pretty all the time. This forced mystique always reveals itself to be a true lack of understanding and or a real inability to explain what any of it means in a sensible manner. We want you to be deep and artsy and avant-garde and F our heads up and SH culture and do Tex meringue dash Tiano dash Ton. I know I'm saying that wrong. I just don't understand at the attention being given from one of the time's biggest stars to a purposefully secluded all whites club of damn near nobodies who'd never acknowledge you because they still owe you a rock Grammy for Sugar Mama. R.I.P. Etta James, a critically acclaimed rock and roll artist, has songs like Tough Mary, and you come out with Sugar Mama. I'm sorry. I'm sweating. Sugar Mama is rock and roll. Sugar Mama is a rock and roll song that deserves a rock nomination and a Grammy. And you didn't have to do anything other than be that girl. I'm so saddened by Jay-Z and his over strategizing everything Beyonce to the point where it's clearly his influence and not the real Bianca Bardot. Someone tell Jay-Z his strategies are corny and Beyonce has better ideas. Like, it's obvious why we got no Burna Boy action for J era E. We would like to hear some Beyonce records without Jay-Z on them. We would like to see her outside without him and his pound puppy dreadlocks breathing all over her. Where was I, child? My eyes are crossing. These contacts got them like this. I'll get y'all. This stuff is so tiny, and she has so much of it. I'm like, my God. I'll give it to him for. I'm almost done. I'll give it to him for turning an initially very uninteresting Rihanna. Start over. I'll give it to him for turning an initially very uninteresting Rihanna into one of the world's biggest stars, but he flopped with Rita and Meg, and for the sake of all the things grand, should realize how much he cramps her diva style. Ugh. 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 I'd give it to him for turning an initially. Oh, okay. I already read it. Her legacy and freedom of expression is not his to share. And I wish he would get over that. Sure, Jay is an important figure in music, but he is not the star in all caps. That is Bianca Bardot talking about Beyonce. Go somewhere, nigga. Damn. What y'all think? That was a lot. I said a mouthful. Azalea is not happy with Beyonce and the country album. She is calling her white Beyonce, Donatella, Bianca Bardot. She thinks that Jay-Z is the one that is doing this, taking all of Beyonce's creative control. And she feels like Beyonce is trying to insert herself into white spaces that would never accept her and never have. What do y'all think? Do y'all agree with some of the stuff that Azealia said? Do y'all disagree? Do y'all think that she shouldn't have went public and said it? That it should have been her own private kitchen table talk? What y'all think? Y'all let me know. Because sis surely had a lot to say. Y'all, I will talk to y'all later. Love y'all so much. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.